Oh, etiquette. The code of polite behavior in a society among members of a particular group or profession. And Warhammer is no different, where rules bloat is always ever present and codex creep is just another Tuesday. But there are also unspoken rules of Warhammer, etiquette for those with silk pants, or in Warhammer terms, litanies, which you must follow or forever be punished by that Dark Angel's interrogator chaplain over there. So let us get the sacred oils and start burning some incense, because it's time to recite the unspoken litanies of Warhammer. Thou shalt not touch other people's without their permission. This is the most sacred litany of Warhammer. Don't touch other people's unless they say you can. Why? Because here's a scenario. Someone has a Titan you want to look at, so you try to pick it up, and in all your stupidity, you underestimate its weight and drop the very expensive model all over the ground, and it smashes into thousands of tiny pieces. And now you have three options. Apologize and hope they don't deck you, pay them back for the broken model, or get charges pressed against you for destruction of property. An easier, more relatable example is you just spent 10 hours painting a model. It's the best model you've ever painted. Would you want someone with Cheeto dust hands picking up said model and getting all that cheesy goodness all over your magnum opus? No, you wouldn't. There's a reason this is the first unspoken litany of Warhammer. So don't touch other people's because some of us may not be as forgiving as others. I know I'm not. I swear to God, if you touch my you'll get a crow's where the sun don't shine. Oh hey, that's right, I now have a Discord server after all of you have annoyed the ever-living out of me to make one, and I have. This can only go horribly wrong. So join and post your miniatures, talk about Warhammer, explain why you love the Dark Angels, get your lists reviewed by experts in Warhammer, find some helpful guides, talk about nerd play video games with others, get alert pings for when my new video goes live with my inconsistent upload schedule, and when I go live on Twitch and listen to my boomer ramblings about Warhammer and other stuff. So join now, links down below in the description and on the main channel. And I guess I should probably answer that call right about now. Oh yes, and to help me explain these litanies, I have a special guest, my friend Ickbard from Objective Insecure. So yeah, join the Discord now. This wasn't a suggestion. And Ickbard, get the additional litanies.
Bribe your opponents with food. Are you stuck in the drive-thru and you're gonna be late to your game? Bribe your opponent with food. Chicken nuggets and fries work just fine. I mean, you just made their already miserable day even worse because they have to play against you. So bribe them with food, and they might make mistakes while they stuff their face with that Happy Meal.
Ask your opponent what type of match they want to play. Warhammer has many forms of play. Narrative, for those who want to recreate their favorite moments from the books like Hell's Reach, or that time Trazen wanted to do a little trolling and went on a Pokemon adventure around the galaxy. Matched play, for the sweatlords who eat, breathe, and Warhammer, or just want to be a bit more tactical and test out a list that probably doesn't lose 100% of the time. #relatable. And then there's games for fun, where you can just turn off your brain and kill. So always ask your opponent what type of game they want to play, and you better get some lube if they're a tournament player.
Bring an emotional support Lord of War. Sometimes we have very big models we rarely get to play. Either they have a really high point cost, like my Baneblade, Stank Tank McGillicuddy, or a Handy's Warlord Titan. Or they're just straight up trash, like my Warhound Titan, or Magnus, or Martarian. So, bring it with you when you play, show it off, let people pet it, but treat it like a service animal. Ask permission first, or see a Litany 1.
Talk to other players and make some great friends. Now it's very important to get to know everyone at your local game store, because if you want to play Warhammer, you're now stuck with them. So talk to people, ask them about their armies, ask how they painted certain units, ask them why they're meta chasing, and also ask them how they got into Warhammer, because everyone has different experiences and some of those might be similar to yours. So make friends with other players, you won't regret it.
Bring extra paint water if you both get thirsty. Warhammer can be a very sweaty game, and you would be surprised how much we move around while playing with our plastic toy soldiers. So in order to quench said thirst and conserve water if you live in California, bring some paint water from yesterday's painting session to quench everyone's thirst, because nothing beats a nice, refreshing glass of Citadel Metallics. It's what they crave.
Don't be that guy. Pretty simple. Don't be that guy. The one that nobody wants to play with because they take everything too seriously. They say you can't do that even though the codex specifically says so, or they make up some bullshit on the spot because they're losing. They are generally unpleasant to be around, so avoid them at all costs.
When in doubt, Alpharius it out. Warhammer is a needlessly complex game with very unique units that do very niche abilities. So when your opponent asks what a unit is, just tell them it's Alpharius. They see that tactical marine with that poorly glued spear on his back? That's Alpharius. What about that 40mm marine with all the gaudy little bits on him? Yep, Alpharius. And what about Alpharius, the Forge World model? That's Omegon. Your opponent will be so confused, they won't even realize Alpharius was your land raider camping it in the back objective, never to be seen.
Declare your intent for movement and shooting. When you're moving and shooting, it is important to always let your opponent know what your intent is. Why are you moving that unit like that? Or where are you shooting at? Along with what you're shooting them with. And why you're committing heresy splitting your shots, you stupid motherfucker. This is important because it leads to less confusion and a smoother wargaming experience.
Always maintain eye contact to assert your dominance. Now that you have declared your intent to blast that unit your opponent spent all those hours painting off the table, make sure you maintain eye contact when rolling your dice, and what does their magnum opus dice do to your army, saying collectively, you in particular.
Always explain your armies. Not everyone is an expert on your army. Not everyone knows what your army does, so make sure you thoroughly explain what it does. Explain your army's bullshit mechanics because it's less of a problem later into the game. So if someone asks what Alpharius does, explain to them, since you're most likely going to be asking the same questions about their army. This also helps you and your opponent learn threat levels of certain units, and which ones to focus or screen around.
Hate the codex, not the player. Unless they're As most of us know, GW are money hungry, and they want to sell you the flavor of the month. Codex creep is the name of the game, so your codex, which was released a year ago, is going to get its kicked in a lot by the codex that came out yesterday. So don't hate the player, hate the codex. Unless that player is then let the hate flow through.
Don't tell their players how to play or paint their army unless they ask you. Everyone paints differently. We all have our own painting style along with play style. Never tell anyone they can't paint the Marines whatever color they want. It's their army, it's none of your business how they paint it. Also, don't tell them how to play their army. It's their army, not yours. So unless you want to spend $1,000 to get the exact same army, I suggest you shut up and play. Only give them advice if they ask for it specifically. If they do, tell them how they can improve playing their army, or if they ask how to paint something specifically, explain to them how to do it. Then finally, the last unspoken litany of Warhammer, have fun. Warhammer is a hobby. It's meant to be fun. That's what a hobby is, and we're all stuck with each other. So have fun while you play, and don't rain on other people's parades. Nobody likes it when someone shits in their cornflakes.
Warhammer is meant to be for everyone, so don't tell others what they can or can't do, and instead, be the driving force in your community. Make it a safe and comfortable environment. After all, nobody wants an objective to be insecure.
Well, that about wraps up the unspoken litanies of Warhammer. Thanks again, Ickbard, for helping me with this. I really appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. But I must go now. My people need me.
Wilsonius! Away!
What the f? Well, okay, that happened. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Also, the other basic YouTube stuff, like, comment, and hit the bell. I would really appreciate it because YouTube algorithm. Also, go check out Ickbard's channel, Objective and Secure. It's linked down below and also in the Friendos tab on the main channel page. And also, don't forget to join the Discord, since a lot of you bugged the ever-living shit on me for one. So join it now for channel updates and other stuff, because fun things are on the horizon. Again, the link's below and on the main channel page. Once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll tune in next time.